There is a dampness crawling up the drywall tonight. A silhouette that moves without a flicker of light. It whispers secrets I buried under the floor, and rattles the handle of the locked cellar door. My reflection is a stranger with hollowed out eyes, feeding on the silence and the weight of my sighs. I can feel the gravity beginning to shift, a crack in the ceiling where the shadows all drift. The air is thickening like oil in the lungs, speaking in the rhythm of forgotten tongues. I'm tearing through the paper skin of my own fears, facing down the ghost that's been haunting my ears. I won't let the darkness take a hold of the wheel, learning once again how it's supposed to feel to be human and broken but finally real. I struck a match and watched the cellar ignite, bringing every secret out into the white. The monster in the corner is smaller than I thought, just a collection of battles that I never fought. I'm taking the keys back from the phantom's hand, reclaiming the borders of my own holy land. Now the walls are dissolving into the gray smoke, breaking every promise that I never quite broke. The pressure is rising like a flood in the hole. I'm standing upright against the weight of it all. I'm crushing every lie that I used to believe, giving myself the space and the permission to grieve. I'm dragging the truth out from the bottom of the well, escaping the architecture of my own private hell. Ring the alarm and let the heavy bell swell. Beneath the layers of iron and rust, I found a heart that was turning to dust. I'm pouring the ocean into the flame, scrubbing the soot from the ghost of my name. I am the storm, I am the rain. The mirror finally shows a face that I recognize. No more looking at the world through a demon's disguise. I reclaim the light that I thought was long dead, clearing the static from the inside of my head. I'm walking the path that I no longer dread. Identity found in the wreckage of the sun. I wrote. All the stains on the driveway look like Rorschach blots. I smell of burnt rubber hangs in the humid air. I'm staring at the mountain that blocks out the sun, feeling the weight of the valley on my shoulders. She's crawling against the silence of the afternoon. The engine is a heartbeat thudding in the driveway. Melt the silver of my youth to forge a new path, screaming into the hollow night until the stars shake. I am the lightning striking the highest point of the hill, carving my own name into the crust of the earth. Feels like dry skin under my boots. The sunset is just a bruise that refuses to heal. I see the same car circling the same tired blocks, trapped in a loop that I am finally breaking. I hit the suitcase under the bed like a weapon of war. I am a coward who finally found the strength to betray this place, ignite the fuel and become the sparks in the wind, flying over the sleeping valley like a golden hawk. I am a ghost that escaped the machine tonight, breathing the mountain air without any chains into the black. Beyond the ridge, never look back. There is a dampness crawling up the drywall tonight. A silhouette that moves without a flicker of light. It whispers secrets I buried under the floor, and rattles the handle of the locked cellar door. My reflection is a stranger with hollowed out eyes, feeding on the silence and the weight of my side. I can feel the gravity beginning to shift, a crack in the ceiling where the shadows all drift. The air is thickening like oil in the lungs, speaking in the rhythm of forgotten tongues. I'm tearing through the paper skin of my old fears, facing down the ghost that's been haunting my ears. I won't let the darkness take a hold of the wheel. is rising like a flood in the hall. I'm standing upright against the weight of it all. I'm crushing every lie that I used to believe, giving myself the space and the permission to grieve. I'm dragging the truth out from the bottom of the well, escaping architecture of my own private hell. Ring the alarm and let the heavy bell swell. Beneath the layers of iron and rust, I found a heart that was turning to dust. I'm pouring the ocean into the flames, scrubbing the soot from the ghost of my name. I am the storm, I am the rain. Finally shows a face that I recognize. No more looking at the world through a demon's disguise. I've reclaimed the light that I thought was long dead, clearing the static from the inside of my head. I'm walking the path that I no longer dread. Identity found in the wreckage of the sound. Iron lung escape. Predator, and I'm the only bait. I've been standing on the platform just to learn how to wait. But the train is a skeleton, and the tracks are alive. And I'm looking at the ceiling till the clouds start to die. I got a fist full of static and a mouth full of grit, and I'm finally ready to admit that I quit. Perfect as a coffin to me, and I'm taking the lock, but I'm losing the key. Ignite the fuel in the engine of hate. I'm rewriting the lines of a pre-packaged fate. No more apologizing for the space that I take. I'm the tidal wave following the earthquake. Deep breaths. The air is getting cold. Those stories that were never told. I'm the shadow in the corner of your eye, waiting for the old self to finally die. Smash the glass, let the water pour out. I'm the only scream in a world I'm a hurricane trapped in a jar of cheap perfume, sweeping up the debris in a padded wall room. You gave me the script, but I'm needing a page. I got a front row seat to my own quiet rage. My nerves are a highway of electric wire, and I'm looking for a way to start a forest fire. Unchain the beast that was sleeping inside. There's nowhere for the hollow-eyed people to hide. I'm the wreckage you feared, the mistake you made, and I'm stepping out from the cooling shade. Scraping the rust off a heart made of lead, thinking about the things that the TV said. It's a garbage can carnival, a plastic parade, but I'm sharpening the edge of a rusted blade. The clock is a hammer and the time is a nail. I'm breaking the bars of this mental jail. Crush the expectations and throw them away. I'm starting the hunt at the end of the day. No more excuses for the bruises I wear. I'm breathing the smoke of a heavy set. I can hear the silence. It's louder than the noise. Stripped of the habits and the broken toys. I'm sinking, I'm floating, I'm gone before the red light hits the dawn. Voltage in the marrow and ice in the veins. I'm the one who's holding the broken remains. I'm out of the box, I'm out of the cage, turning the world into a blank white page. Let it end, let it end, let it end. The ceiling is bleeding, I'm holding a knife. Static in the rafters, cutting through the light. And while my jaw with the silver plated light, but the hunger in the basement is starting to cry. Dust on the records and rust on the chain. I'm rewriting the chemistry inside of my brain. I'm breaking the walls down to breathe in the fire, raising my fist in the funeral pyre. No more strings on the puppet of shame. I'm lighting a match and I'm killing the name. ache in the marrow. Out and let the secrets bleed. I'm a garden of thorns where there used to be seed. Your blueprints are burning in the back of my eyes. I'm sick of the sugar and the hollow point lies. I'm walking still buy the coffee you liked, even though I can't stand the taste. The ritual of mourning that I perform every single morning. I regret the way I let the distance grow until it was a canyon. Too wide the bridge and too deep for us to ever climb out. I forged your signature on the lease just to keep you near me. I lied about the future because I was terrified of the present. I am the reason we are both ghosts in this city tonight. Echoes of the hollow. The ceiling is breathing in the middle of the night, counting the pulses of the dying street light. A cold wind is blowing through the gaps in my chest where the demons of doubt have built the dark nest. I'm a passenger sitting in a ghost-driven car, trying to remember where the exits all are. The mountains are leaning over the edge of the town, waiting for the moment that the sky will fall down. I'm gathering the embers from a fire gone cold, turning my story into something bold. I'm ripping the mask off the face in the dark, igniting the wood with a desperate spark. I won't be a prisoner of the things I've done wrong, finding the melody in a dissonant song. This is the moment where I finally belong. I turned the light on and the shadows all fled, replacing the poison with the truth instead. The phantom that followed me is starting to fade, just a trick of the light and the choices I made. I'm drawing a circle around where I stand, planting my flag in this desolate sand. The stars are aligning in a jagged new line, showing me crown on my head. Reclaiming the light from the things that I said. I'm the architect now of the future I see. Finally becoming what I'm meant to be. The chains are all broken and I'm finally free. To the edge of the dam. God is a circuit board and I'm about to short it out. I got a head full of venom and a lung full of shout. They sold me a map with no exits inside, but I'm carving a hole in the middle of the night. My shadow is a stranger with a heavy-duty grudge, and I'm the only jury, and I'm the only judge. Flood the system with a violent grace. I'm erasing the features from my hollowed-out face. I'm a landslide of anger, I'm mounting a bone, and I'm building a kingdom on a crumbling throne. Flame is a magnet for the moth. I'm falling through the cracks of the floor. I don't wanna feel this way anymore. for good.
Silver frost on the windshield where you drew a heart with your thumb. I can still see the blur of it when the morning sun hits the glass. A tangled pair of headphones in the glove box we used to share. To the tangles as if they were a lifeline to the past. The engine hums a low frequency that rattles my very bones. The horizon's blurring into a bruised shade of purple. Doesn't open anything anymore. I regret the pride that kept my mouth shut while you were screaming. Watching the ship sink while I stood safely on the shore. I knew the end was coming weeks before you even packed a bag. I sabotaged the peace because I didn't know how to handle the quiet. I am the architect of the ruins I am currently standing in. Tear the sky open and let the rain wash the rust away. The weight of the unspoken is finally crashing down on the floor. I am screaming into the void and hearing the echo die. The unfinished goodbye is finally written in the dirt. Walking away from the wreckage without looking back once. The air is cold and fresh and finally mine to breathe.
concrete horizon. The street lamp flickers like a dying nerve. A rusted swing set creaks against the dirt. Shadows stretch thin across the peeling paint, while the heavy air tastes of iron and grease. My pulse is racing against the freight trains hum. The walls are sweating